Okay. So, a very good evening to all our attendees and viewers who are watching us live on Facebook and YouTube and also LinkedIn. So, a very warm welcome to the Saga series. A quick recap for those of you who are new to Pick a Book. Pick a Book is all about reading and more reading and inculcating the habit of reading, research, and presenting the summary of it in our regular meeting sessions. Creating a better world by changing the sense of self through the habit of reading is the vision of Pick a Book. Currently, Pick a Book marked its inspiring presence in 4 countries: Sri Lanka, India, Singapore, UK, with over 1,000 plus readers, 18 plus regions, and 70,000 plus people inspired through our sessions, all just in a span of 1 year. So Pick a Book continues to spread its wings across the globe. So to talk about the other Saga series, this is a new initiative, a brand of its own called brand of its own, wherein the authors can reach their readers and individuals who are with like-minded interests. So authors can discuss the key insights of their books, and the readers can have this wonderful opportunity to know more about the book from the author herself. So today we have with us Miss Aastha Tatia, who authored this wonderful book called Survive or Thrive. Welcome, Aastha.
Hi, Swarna. Thank you so much.
Glad. So for you, ladies and gentlemen, Asta is an engineer, MBA. She's a corporate executive turned anchor person, now a happiness coach. Asta helps corporate leaders become the most sought after leaders by creating deep connections and meaningful relationships in their organizations. So, starting back in Jan 2018 as a full time coach, Asta has worked massively and has caused miraculous results for herself. She has helped corporate executives, professionals, and entrepreneurs to go beyond their barriers and create massive results. She strongly believes that an individual can give to others only that which he or she possesses. Hence, as a coach, she embarked on the journey of sharing with people what she gifted herself. So, she is also an author. Her book, Survive or Thrive, talks about turning around your leadership journey from fear to joy. She's a trekker, a passionate dancer, an avid reader, and a lifelong learner. And her motto is that happiness is a choice. Very rightly said, Asta, happiness is a choice. And, very warm welcome to you. We are glad to have you here with us.
Thank you. Pleasure is entirely mine. Really looking forward to this conversation with you.
Thank you. So first of all, let us allow to congratulate you on this wonderful book, and we wish you a long way in writing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. So are you an avid reader, Asta? How far, I mean, when did you and how did this reading started in you? Like, when were you introduced to books?
Um, I would say I used to read, and then there was a spell where I completely I won't say quit consciously, but somewhere it just didn't happen. I wasn't reading for a long time when I was into the corporate and I was just running around, I'd say busy surviving.
Mm-hmm.
And I think somewhere a couple of years back, I again got into reading. And I think ever since, more particularly since I've gotten into coaching, I've developed this habit once again. And
Okay,
yes, that's where it is.
great. So behind every writer, there must be a reader for sure. So on that, okay. So with this, how did your writer journey start? I mean, when did that spark hit you? So if you want to become a writer.
So I think the entire credit goes to the TLC community that I am a part of, and my mentor Murli Sundaram.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one who sowed the seed of becoming an author, and at that point, I really thought that okay, even I could think of becoming an author because to me, authors were a different league, different breed
Yeah.
of people. And I certainly didn't belong there. I won't say belong, but yes, I had never thought about it.
Mm.
But what I have realized, so that's where the journey started. And it's been a roller coaster because when I started, there was a phase where I completely stopped. It just didn't happen. The momentum wasn't there. I wasn't sure did I want to write just because I was a part of it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
didn't happen. But then somewhere January 2021, when the date of the TLC National Conference was declared, we were to launch our books there. I think that hit me, and I think
Mm-hmm.
then the journey of setting up a context, why do I want to write the book? Who is it going to be for? What do I want to share there? It all kind of materialized there. And I thought, yes, whatever mess I've experienced in my life, I really want to share that with my target audience. So I think that's how it all happened.
Great. So, with all gratitude to our guru, Mr. Murli Sundaram. So, we have been,
Absolutely.
getting a lot of writers like you who are, who are into starting their journey into writing and releasing these
Absolutely.
wonderful books for us. So, yeah. So, what made you interested in writing this book, Asa? Like, why is it particularly titled Survive or Thrive?
Um, yeah, very, very interesting question because I think Survive or Thrive has pretty much been the story of my life as well. And I think every individual,
Mhm.
uh, we are not even aware, but we have this choice of continuing to survive. We're all surviving, we're all existing, we're all going about living our lives just the way we're doing, versus there's a choice to thrive. Now, thrive is where I take charge, where whatever is happening around me, irrespective
Mhm.
of those downfalls and then those ups and then again those downs, I'm like,
Mhm.
I am going to grow. Nothing can stop me. I'm going to go there and do whatever it takes. So that choice we always have, just that we're not even aware of it. So the title was I'd say it's very, very close to my heart, and my husband actually helped me finalize that title. We were just going through it, and the entire book, that's the I'd say Survive or Thrive would kind of set the context for the entire book, that
Mhm.
it's a choice. You want to survive, life will still go on, you can choose to survive, or you want to thrive. And if you say yes, I want to thrive, then this is the book for you.
That's very short and very well connected point. What you mentioned,
Thank
lot of times actually, yeah, everybody of us will have this choice for sure, and it is the survive or thrive that makes all the difference. So it's a choice between these two that make the difference between a successful person and a mediocre.
absolutely.
So yeah. So how many chapters are there in this book, Asta? So
Yeah, there are 11 chapters.
okay. So
Yeah.
are there any real-time examples, or how did this whole book go? What are you speaking about survive or thrive?
Sure. So, if you talk about the structure of the book, it's
Mhm.
and the kind of writing that it is, it's very, very simple, very, very straight,
Mhm.
and yes, there are a lot of real life examples, lot of stories from my life and
Mhm.
the lives of some of my clients as well. Um, so, I would say a very, very relatable style, where every time when you're reading, as you go through it, you will be able to resonate with the whole thing. And the
Mhm.
idea of giving these stories from my life, right from my childhood up until now,
Mhm.
is so that somewhere you are able to reflect upon in your own life, and you can relate and see, where do I stand in my life today, or back then in my childhood, oh, this is what happened with me, or somewhere this is what I felt. So the whole
Mhm.
idea is for everybody to be able to really reflect upon their life. So it's not a read where I want you to read, feel good, and then go away. The idea is
Mhm.
somewhere something inside you needs to move.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Great. So then this book is right for everybody out there, not just particular set of audience. So, but my next question is going to be that. So but it answered quite of the same. Who is this book specially for? Why should they read it?
Yeah. So the book has been written keeping in mind the leaders, the corporate leaders, because I've been into corporate for over 9 years. And
Okay.
I've gone through those pains, those challenges, my own pains and challenges. And I've seen a lot of my colleagues, my superiors, subordinates go through different challenges
Mm-hmm.
with no access what to do about it. Just going about, growing up the ladder,
Mm-hmm.
but no access. How do you really feel empowered, in that spirit? And I see a lot of people sitting right at the top, but feeling lonely, feeling hollow, feeling that void, not sure where they headed,
Yeah.
despite all the accomplishments. And that's where I thought this has to be for the corporate leaders.
Mm-hmm.
However, like you just said, the anybody, any leader who goes through the book, who reads the book, will be able to
Mm-hmm.
relate with it. The
Okay.
examples, a lot of them come from the corporate landscape, but there are
Mm-hmm.
a lot of other examples. And like I said, it's very, very simple and straight. So people are going to be able to relate.
Mm-hmm.
Where the idea is, if you're a leader in any area, even a
Mm-hmm.
homemaker who
Yeah.
is supposedly the house's leader,
Mm-hmm.
she'll be able to relate there. So yeah, that way, yes. But specifically, if you ask me, written with the keeping in mind the corporate leaders.
Perfect. So, but then, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wonderful book for all of you to choose to go through, because, like you said, though it is specified in particularly about, I mean, to the leaders of corporate, but then what it talks about survive and thrive is basically for everybody. Everybody at and at some phase of life. In fact, at every phase of life, we have this choice always open. We come across so many challenges in life where we just stuck up there, not to, not finding a way to choose, whether to go ahead, take things the risk, or just settle with what we have. So that's where the survive and thrive comes into picture, and that's where our choice to choose comes into picture. So however she says, it is for leaders out there, but I would say, I think, from what the title talks about, it is quite useful for everybody. So good. So yeah, so when we are talking about like real-time examples, like you have mentioned, you have taken some real-time examples of your clients or something like that, of your own life. So if I ask you to just quote one such example where, the challenge they were facing and the choice they have made, and the result they have achieved using, the survive or thrive policy. So is there anything that you want to share with the audience in as an example form?
Sure. So, see, if I talk about, one of the things, I'll maybe talk about two instances. One from my own life where uh, I have talked about it in bits and pieces, but if you'll see, my whole life, I was surviving. Okay. And when I say surviving, right from doing my engineering to my MBA, it was not something that I wanted to do or I dreamt of doing. It was pure survival because, right from early on in my childhood, I
Mm-hmm.
was living up to an image, my whole the self image that I have to be the best daughter, the best student,
Mm-hmm.
the best girl. Everybody needs to be like, wow, Astha, that kind of thing. And I was quite successful in doing that because I was a very good student, good at academics, good at extracurricular activities, favorite of all teachers, and a very sincere, hardworking. You ask anybody, they'll be like, "Wow, this is the kind of girl that should be."
Mm-hmm.
But if you ask me, everybody, when I talk to my friends today and I share this with them, they say, "What are you saying? We used to look up to you. That this is Asta. I was the head girl of the school." And but I know within me there was a turmoil. Somewhere in the process, I had left Astha behind. What
Okay.
did I really like? What did I really want?
Mm-hmm.
Very, very, it was just somewhere thrown away. And
Mm-hmm.
then when it came to what do I want to pursue, again, the whole thing was okay, if I get into engineering,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be that elite, the intellectual people get into engineering. So let me do that.
Mm.
I don't recall exactly the mindset back then, but I think somewhere on these lines,
Yeah. Mm.
I never was an engineering kind of a person. I was more into arts. I was a dancer. I wanted probably to do my graduation from some college, get that exposure. So I got into engineering, and then throughout engineering also, because I was hardworking, because I was sincere, I did very well. However, that wasn't what I wanted. I did my MBA, amazing 2 years, but was there a vision? No, it was completely missing. Yeah. And then when I got into corporate, it was again a stereotype, do the engineering, then MBA, and then you get into corporate. That's what everybody does.
Mm.
So all of this that was going on was pure survival,
Yeah.
which means it's okay. This is how I'm supposed to be.
Mm.
And all of this was coming from my beliefs, which is, the whole foundation of this book.
Mm.
The
Exactly.
beliefs that we pick up during the childhood, and somewhere I had picked up the belief I am not good enough. This
Mm.
was this I would say such a strong belief, not good enough, and therefore it led me to constantly prove myself to be the best. Yeah.
Mm.
And it was very painful. It wasn't
Okay.
easy. People would
Mm.
say, wow, she's got everything. At the outset, it looked all amazing.
Mm.
But only I knew, proving myself all the time, it took a toll on my expression. I would be very calculative when I had to speak. Will this look
Mm.
good? Will this not look good? What will people think about me? Will they be wowed or not? You know?
Mm.
So, all those things. And from there, when I got into this whole coaching almost 3.5 years back, learning to get my expression back.
Yeah.
I've always been on the stage, been an anchor. So I've been speaking, but it was never my 100%. It was never from within because my
Mm.
expression was all gone. So
Mm.
getting it back, getting connected to myself. Now, this is thriving.
Yeah.
That at this age, from corporate to anchoring to getting into
Mm.
coaching, reaching where I belong, what my purpose
Mm.
is. I think this is what thriving is, making that choice that I want to quit my corporate career no matter whatever people say. That's
Mm.
not where I belong. That
Mm.
to me was thriving. Those are the choices I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
that only happens when you have that awareness, when you are ready to make that choice. It's not easy. I
Yeah.
got to hear from so many people after doing the engineering MBA, you want to become an anchor.
Mm.
Such is the stereotype, you just cannot be an anchor.
Yeah.
Or how can you just quit your job? You're doing so well, you cannot be quitting. There are people who wait for getting into jobs and all. So a lot of things happen, not easy, a lot of fears that are there. But
Mm.
yes, that's what it is all about. And yes, couple of clients, that I have also talked about, who are in the process, in the journey, of it's about surviving or thriving in every area. I would say in every instance.
Yeah.
What I said was a larger picture, the entire life. But if it is one instance, even in that moment, am I surviving or I'm willing to thrive? I want to
Yeah.
thrive. So,
Yeah.
a corporate leader I was working with, he was doing very well for himself as far
Mm.
as the organization was concerned, a great leader, an asset for the company.
Mm.
But his whole outlook towards the team was, my team doesn't work well. Look at him, he's not doing good, and things
Okay.
like that. Now, what do you
Yeah.
think will be the camaraderie, the kind of environment? He
Mm.
could have continued like that. He would have still gotten promoted because he was doing well. Now, that was survival. When we were doing that work with him, he could
Mm.
see this is what I'm doing and this is survival.
Okay.
But choosing to do that work on himself, we
Yeah.
didn't do anything with the team. Only
Mm.
the work that he did on himself was a choice to thrive. That no, I don't want to, get stuck here. I want to
Mm.
see where all am I getting limited, because
Mm.
that makes him also uncomfortable. That gets him disempowered.
Yeah.
When he did that work, got to the
Mm.
next level, not only
Mm.
did he get the peace, the calm, but he was able to bring that to his team as well. It transferred in his personal space relationships with his spouse, with his mother, with his brother. You all went to the next level.
Great.
So, yeah, it's about making choices.
Great. Superb. That was an awesome explanation, Asta. It did clear a lot of our doubts, actually.
Thank you.
because with the detail with which you said from your own personal life, in fact, like how you said this book resonates, whatever we went through, right? But exactly you speak the same. So that is, we always strive to either impress other people or live according to the lines drawn by other people, or to satisfy. Most of our life spent we spend satisfying others. So we have to understand that this is a high time that one should understand, it's always good to strive, look into yourself and what you want, what you really want to do in life with your life. So just do about it, go about it, and live your life. So just make a choice. The choice is the only thing we have, nothing else. So that is pretty much ours, and we can make a choice. So
True.
great, beautiful, very well said. So yes, so okay, so what did you learn while writing this book? Are there any challenges you faced, or any new learnings you have learned through your journey of writing this particular book?
Absolutely. Swarna, I would say I had heard that book writing is therapeutic.
Hmm.
It's a therapy, and I experienced it, in a lot of ways. Like I said, I started it almost a year back, July 2020, and
Hmm.
1 month, and I just couldn't move ahead. Created a
Oh,
structure, but it just didn't happen. I shelved the whole project. I'm not going to do it. Not
okay,
happening.
okay.
And then I started it again, and a lot of things come in. Lot of number one is all your beliefs.
Hmm.
Hey, you'll not be able to do it. You've got to write. Will people read it? Will
Yeah.
it be good enough? A lot of things come in, right? Then when you sit down to write, you're like, oh, no, 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 this doesn't look good. Let me go back,
Hmm.
read what I've already written. Is it impressive enough? Because the whole mindset is somewhere, will it be accepted by people? you
Exactly.
know A-
Hmm.
and I think at one point, then I had to make a choice. I had to tell myself that yes, I'm writing this book for people. I want to share that message, but it's also a journey for myself.
Yeah.
It's about uh, being vulnerable and being able to put down what I have to share, because some of the things were not easy for me to put down,
Hmm.
right? Because like, it's not easy. We so guarded in ourselves. We so bothered about what will people think. So there, being able to say this is how I felt wasn't easy for me. At some points, it was a journey which took me back to so many things I hadn't thought about, forced me to think, and I'm glad it did. And as I wrote down, I went through all of it, and I realized how much I have evolved. What has
Yeah.
it taken? And I felt so much in awe of myself. I
Hmm.
think one thing which has taken my love for myself to next level,
Okay.
so absolutely, it's a very powerful journey. And I would say it's not just about writing a book and, okay, hey, I have a book and I'm an author now. It it is it's a journey of evolution. When you write things there, when you put it down, pen it down, it's
Yeah.
next level altogether.
Great. So writer is being a writer, being an author is one of the greatest things that can ever happen. That capability that you hold as a writer is the
Yeah,
greatest asset, because that's the best way to reach thousands of people, and you can inspire lots of lives to change for good. So yeah,
absolutely.
that's a beautiful. Great. So, okay, what did you like the most when you have spoken about the challenges? There is also a point where you like the most writing it, and what is that?
About the book,
Yeah.
um
So, which part of the book you felt it easy in writing, or where you have your true expression, or you love that expression of that book, that particular chapter, or anything like that?
um I think the entire thing, the way the whole structure came up, and then being able to put down everything, I would say this book could not have been any other way. A lot of
Okay.
times later you feel that, oh, I wish this could have been added, or I could have done it
Hmm.
in this way. But I
Okay.
really feel, now, even when I think in retrospect, this is how it was meant to be. with that whole structure that I had created, and whatever message I wanted to share,
Mm,
it all came in. So all the chapters, I would say, there's a flow, there's a structure to it. It goes in a sequence, and
mm,
each brings out like a beautiful, beautiful, powerful message. Each has its own meaning. And what is very, very close to my heart is the self work questions that are there at the end of each chapter.
okay.
Because, like I said, it's not just about read and feel good. I
Mm,
really want people to be able to answer those questions, do that work, because
yeah.
that's for sure. If you answer those questions, you sit down, you reflect,
Mm,
and you put down the pointers. It's going to open up so much for you, the world for you, for sure. So yeah, that's one
yeah.
of my favorite things.
Great. So that itself is an achievement on its own because I mean, it's like most of the times when we look back at our work, we are not that satisfied every time. We just find it something or the other. It can be better, it can be improved, but having that satisfaction, in our work, speaking about our work is itself a great achievement. That gives a sense of confidence in our work.
Very well said. Absolutely.
Yeah. Superb. Okay, so one last question. What is that piece of advice you would love to give to the younger generation, especially, from your book?
Um, I would just say that, there's this quote by Steve Jobs, which every time I read, it just, it's an eye opener every time I read. It
Hmm.
must read every day. And the quote is that, the moment you realize that you will die tomorrow,
Okay.
you know so suddenly the realization is there that you're already naked. There is
Hmm.
nothing to lose.
True.
So so there's no point holding yourself back. Like,
Hmm.
just do what you desire. Take that step, take that leap. So the whole thing around, I'm going to die tomorrow, I'm already naked. We are so worried
Yes.
about losing something. I'm going to lose out on my image, I'm going to lose out the money, I'm going to lose. There's nothing to really lose out. You are not there forever. So just might as well go and live your life forever, uh, the way you want to. So the only message I would give, and also reflecting upon how I've lived my life, I would say, don't hold yourself back. Do things. Don't worry about it's going to be a blunder, a mistake. And this is coming from somebody who's lived like a perfect life, trying to be a perfect person, very obedient, very sincere. And today I do all the badmashi. And so I'd say, just be yourself. You are unique. It takes a lot to accept yourself the way you are. Even today I stand, I confront myself at times when I get into that zone again, because it's such a strong belief. It keeps
Exactly.
coming back to you. Oh, I'm not good enough, not good. And I, over the years, by doing that work, now I'm able to embrace that. Okay, it's okay, even if I'm feeling that, that's fine. And I'm able
Yeah.
to get out of it. But there was a point when I would be into it for hours.
Mm.
So I'm saying, don't hold yourself back, don't pull yourself back. There's nobody outside who's pulling you down except you.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Just live your life to the fullest. That's all that I'll say.
Great, superb. That's very well said quote by Aastha. Thank you so much. A lot of time. This is very very important for, especially like I said, the younger generation, because there will be in mixed minds most of the time. So thinking about what to achieve, what not to,
Yeah,
about a lot of challenges they have and a lot of confusion going on. And I would say, be ruthlessly true to yourself. So that is
absolutely.
very, very, very important. So the quote is also very good. So so, ladies and gentlemen, that's a beautiful quote. So live yourself as today is the last day. So you have nothing to lose. So like Asta said, keep it, maybe mark it somewhere in this house where you can see it every day as this is my last day. So nothing to lose. So you only have to gain. Okay. So do whatever you like to do in life and just enjoy this simple life with full happiness and confidence. So Thank you so much, Asta, for such lovely inputs because I so enjoyed this session. It was like talking to, a very close person, where we can relate to everything we go through in our life. You are literally speaking your book. So that
Thank
connects
you.
strongly, that connects strongly with the book. So, ladies and gentlemen, please don't waste any time to buy this book and uh, get reading. And yeah, there are many self-help questions given at the end of each session, so you can have as well the advantage of implementing them right and then. So that's a great thing. So thank you so much, Asta. Thank you for coming onto the show and sharing your experiences and knowledge with our lovely audience here tonight in the room and who are watching us live. I'm sure they must have enjoyed the show, definitely as much as we enjoyed conversing with each other on this beautiful book, Survive and Thrive. So it's available on Amazon, ladies and gentlemen, and also Kindle version is also available for online readers. So it's a good news, win-win for both of you. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, Esther. Thank you.
Thank you, Swarna, for providing this amazing space, where I could just speak my heart out. It's always mutual, and love talking to you. And thank you for amazing questions as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Great day.
Yeah. Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye, everyone. See you all next week. Thank you.